Good evening, everyone. My name is Elia Mpata. I'm one of Multi Marketing's authors. Tonight, we are having a special offering. I always say when we have Mr. Khan, the director of Multi Marketing, and tonight it will be mostly about the Multi Marketing Anthology book that we publish annually. I call it a series because we are writing it annually, and I'm hoping that the connection is not going to give us troubles, and hopefully everything will go well with the interview. Long overdue multi-marketing's anthology that I call a series because every year I look forward to it, and every year as an author, I get excited. I want to see what South Africa holds for the readers, for the different audiences, because multi-marketing writes different things for different folks, people that are taking different things from it, from short stories, poetry, and artwork. I realized. So, thank you, everyone. Mr. Khan, without wasting any time, there are people that do not know who Mr. Khan is or Naushad Khan. In short, how would you describe or introduce Mr. Khan to South Africa and the whole world, um, or even your audience? There are people that have read your work from I think 2023 until now. They would like to know who is Mr. Khan.
My name is Naushad Khan. I am the director of multi marketing, and I am now 3 years. Actually, I could say four years in a row. I have been published in the multi marketing anthology. I guess that makes me, along with my solo book, which I published, a five-time published author and self-published. 8 years it took me to publish my book. A lot of struggles, a lot of ups and downs eventually led me to establishing the multi-marketing publishing wing, where I help authors such as Elia, such as Heidi Hahn, who's watching us, such as a lot of authors across South Africa and across the globe, in fact, publish their books, market their works, distribute them as far and wide as possible. So multi-marketing has been around for now 5 years. We've published 75 authors and 42 books, which is a great accomplishment for us. We've reached authors from Durban to Joburg to Rustenburg to Cape Town to even places like Turkey, India, Australia, United Arab Emirates. We've been around the world. And that's basically in a nutshell who Naushad Khan, what multi-marketing is. Who Naushad Khan is just a boy who grew up in a place called Overport, Durban, grew up in the library, grew up reading and loving books, and just wanted to be a writer. That was my two goals I had in life: being a published author and being an entrepreneur. And I can gladly say and proudly say now I have achieved both. So that's Naushad Khan in a nutshell.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Khan. And most people or most readers in the community, since I've started writing, they think it has to be some kind of a miracle, or you must be ordained in a university to be an author. So for you, what is the story? How did you start writing?
So for me, and I think you can also relate to this in your own way, writing is not, I wouldn't dismiss it as not being a skill. I would call it a talent, but more than anything, and I mentioned this on a radio interview that I did this week, writing is a calling. It's something that you feel in
Yes.
you that you need to put on paper. So, how I started was going to the library at the age of 5, reading so many books that my mind on its own just started conjuring up ideas. So, unlike poetry, which is something that that is your forte, for me, my imagination is something that spurns out stories. Every single day, it happens to me, and I get so physically mad with myself when I see something. I'm like, damn, that's a great story, but I can't put it onto paper because I'm busy with something at the moment. I can see anything, any situation. or I can read about something or hear about something. I'll just conjure up my mind and I come up with stories. And this has been going on since I was 5 years old. Obviously, when you're 5 years old, you come up with childish ideas. So my first
Yes.
stories was about dinosaurs uh, talking dinosaurs, children going on a voyage to
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
At the age of 10, I shocked everyone when I wrote a Western novel, which is unheard of that a 10-year-old is writing a Western novel. But I did that. And then later on, at the age of 17, I wrote Race Champ. Race Champ would go on to become my very first published book, my only solo self-published book at the moment, because I've been so busy helping other authors that I've not had time to sit down and physically write and finish and publish my own book. But that's fine. I'm glad that I achieved one of my goals, which is being a published author through the story of Race Champ, which I said took me 8 years. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of shocks that I had to avoid, a lot of different, pillars to post, scammers in South Africa, dime a dozen. I had to avoid those, come through all of those tunnels. And that's why now as a publisher, I feel like I am a shepherd for the holder of the pen, because I guide authors. I'm not one of those fly by night scammers that you're going to find that takes your money and runs away and doesn't give you the product. I deliver on my promises. When you pay to self publish through the one stop shop that is multi marketing, you get your end product, and you are a proof of that. Heidi Hahn is a proof of that. A lot of authors are a proof to that. So that is how I started writing, was just being a boy in a library, and my mind just started conjuring up ideas, and to this day it still does that.
Yes, and this year, once again, you've blessed us with a piece of yourself. You wrote a short story about Danny and Jordan, and most people, including myself, by just looking at the title of the book of the short story, uh, I'm intrigued. I want to know, your audience. I'm part of them. Uh, just a hint. What is the title all about? What is the short story all about? Maybe briefly, if you can share that with us.
Okay, so let me start by saying this. In the 2022 anthology, I just written a foreword. I didn't include a short story. 2023, and I explained this in the previous live video, Special Operatives Unit was supposed to be a movie script that I'd written,
Yes.
and I converted it into a short story. Last year, I wrote a short story called It's Not Fake, which takes me back to my love for the entertainment theater of professional wrestling. This year's Danny and Jordan actually comes from my, I wouldn't say love, but my enjoyment of watching certain YouTube videos around those YouTubers who go do explorations.
All right.
So um, I think the most famous example I can give is Sam and Colby, which actually is the inspiration, the main inspiration behind Danny and Jordan. So these are urban explorers. They go and explore abandoned buildings, abandoned towns, and neighborhoods, just to give you explorations of places that you've never seen before. So, in a sense, Danny and Jordan is set against the backdrop of one of my favorite Sam and Colby videos, in a way, where they go and explore this abandoned nuke town in the United States, where it was left abandoned after World War II and the military had moved out of there because it was a military base for the military and their families. So that
Yes.
is basically, I used to be enamored with these YouTubers that would go and explore. And one day I hope to do that myself, actually. I know I'm getting a bit up in age, but I would love to go and explore these abandoned towns, experience history and everything, and these places that once were, you know,
Alive. Yeah.
extraordinary. Yeah, so Danny and Jordan is basically a parody, a tribute to those YouTubers, but in a respectful way. Not a parody in terms of like a spoof or a skit, but a parody in terms of a spin off, you could say.
All right. Perfect. Now, for me, like to me, you are an inspiration. You are somebody who does. You are not scared of taking challenges. You are someone who's not scared to to do something that is out of his comfort zone. Your writing, in all of your short stories and your writing in general, who would you say is your target audience, and what do you aim to achieve by writing each piece every time?
So, unlike other authors and certain poets, my target audience changes all the time. So, for example, some poets target a certain audience. Some writers will target an audience who enjoys romance novels, just like them. Other audience will target people who like fantasy or sci-fi or horror or mystery, whatever it may be. I, however, target different audiences with every book and every short piece I've written. So, for example, with Race Champ, the target audience was people who enjoy racing, who enjoy cars, who enjoy action. With Special Operatives Unit, it was for those who enjoy action movies. So, the old 90s action movies with Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme, that was my target audience with Special Operatives Unit. With It's Not Fake, my target audience was the people who watch professional wrestling, those people who enjoy that genre of entertainment. With Danny and Jordan, my target audience is those who also watch YouTubers and like that little intrigue, that thrill, that adventure. So I've also written stories that I will release in future anthologies. I've written romance novel stories, I've written horror stories, detective stories, horror, comedy. I have written in practically every genre you can think of. I don't have a specific audience.
Yeah,
My audience changes with everything I write.
wow. Yeah, most, I think the fact that you are in the publishing industry, and you are working with a vast kind of authors that are writing different, like for different kind of audience, you you suit well because you get to understand as well where they come from when you receive the manuscripts. They are so lucky to have you around. The other thing that I'm having in mind now is for many people that enjoys the surprise every time, because if you are that kind of an author, we never know what's going to hit us next. Uh, should we expect more of you on the next coming anthologies, because this is going to be a tradition for South Africa. People are talking out there to say, you want an opportunity to write, try multi-marketing. It's something that is becoming a norm in South Africa, that if you want uh, to start writing, you want a platform where you can uh, put yourself out there. Multi-marketing has that opportunity for you. So should we expect to see more of you on the next coming series at multi-marketing anthologies, or this was the last time we see you on the anthology?
Not a chance. This was the last time. I enjoy writing so much. You can't take the writing out of the writer. You can take the writer out of the book, but you can't take the writer
Yes,
outside of out of me. So I will be, and I have endeavored to be in every single freaking anthology that there will ever be from multi-marketing going forward. So long as these fingers can type, I will be in every book. So yes, I will definitely be in more anthologies, and maybe down the road I will finally release more of my solo works that I have out there. And I just want to touch quickly on a point that you mentioned about the opportunity of the anthology. The anthology really gives authors and poets, even artists now, we've included more artists this year than any year ever before. It gives you a crash course in publishing because you pay a small portion, and on the invoice, you will see when you invoice exactly where every cent goes towards what it is funding. On top of it, you're getting a crash course because you now have self-published your feature in the book. You have to market, you have to push, you have to distribute it, get word out there. We're doing the administration of selling it on our site, and then you earn the royalties on it. So for any author out there that wants to get their work out there, get published, and also get a little bit of a crash course in publishing and marketing and distributing their book, the Multi-Marketing Anthology, every single year, that's for you.
Yes, that's what I like about the program itself. Since it has started, we have been getting new people, and every time, even those that keep coming, it shows that it's really helping out. It's a proof that no matter how small it may be, but it is actually helping out some people out there. So I am actually glad that it's an initiative that multi-marketing started. So for that, I am really grateful. One other thing that I'm thinking about at the moment is, as an author, what is the future for you? What are the goals that you have for the future? What are the plans for Naushad Khan?
Well, I'm glad you asked me what my plans are as an author and not what the plans are for multi-marketing, because if I told you what the plans are for multi-marketing, we'd probably be sitting here for another hour. So I will tell you what my plans are for as an author. Like number one, it's to be featured in every single multi-marketing anthology going forward. And I'm looking at putting more of my work out there as a writer, because like I said, I've written in so many different genres. There's a box full. I'm looking at my cupboard right now. Inside the cupboard, there's a humongous box of stories that I've written and stacked up over the years. I really need to get it out there. I just got to sit down with myself and think about, how do I take all these stories and make them and be able to publish them? So definitely there's more to come from Naushad Khan as the author, so you guys can expect that. But yeah, multi-marketing, we're on and up. And the anthology every year, that's coming.
Out of interest, I think maybe this can add value on there are a lot of Thomases out there, people who who have doubts about multi-marketing and the work that we have been doing over the years. For multi-marketing specifically, where is multi-marketing going? Because if multi-marketing is not there, that puts the anthology itself on the, what can I say, on the shaking ground for authors. Maybe if you can include that, that would put some firm trust that we have this handled and we are going forward strong, because this is bringing too much hope to the country, and it's helping so many people in so many ways that you cannot you cannot. It's more than just a book on the shelf. Every time, for each author holding that book, it means a lot. By just a person saying, I've published a book, or I'm a published author, even without the person that we are having a conversation with seeing that book, it means a lot. It makes the person respect you more, the person that you are talking about. So even if you can include that part, I think it will add more value to both the authors and the people that are still looking to publish with multi-marketing, and people that are already multi-marketing's work.
Okay, so let me put everyone at ease first and foremost. The multi-marketing anthology is not going away, because multi-marketing is not going anywhere away anytime soon. However, we are going somewhere, and that somewhere is international in the future. So I'm at liberty to speak about this now because it's official. We are in partnership with Book Bank South Africa, which is taking a lot of the authors in South Africa. The Multi-Marketing Anthology 2025 is the first book that has been accepted to go international. We're talking places like Frankfurt, Germany, Edinburgh in Scotland. We're talking about London, England. We're talking about, if you want to bring it back to Southern Africa, we're talking about Swaziland, Lesotho, Botswana, Zimbabwe. We're going everywhere. So multi-marketing in the future is going international. Down the road, we have plans for more books and fairs that will be going. Those will be touring events. So one year it'll be in Durban, another year it'll be in Johannesburg, another year in Cape Town, another year in the United States of America, and another year in another place. So multi-marketing is into going into the future, going international, but we're not going anywhere. Multi-marketing Anthology will always be here, and the multi-marketing will always be here to keep on helping publish, market, and distribute authors.
Wow, thank you so much. That is, it's more than comforting. It is, I don't know how to express the feelings well. You know, I'm a very, I'm a very stable man when it comes to emotions, but I'm very pleased to hear that. And I believe that our authors are very excited, even the audiences that we write for. The other thing that I think we can touch into, it's it's the reactions, the feedback. How do people react specifically to you? I think that is the best question to ask to you. How do people react to the fact that you are on the multi-marketing anthology, or you are publishing the anthologies themselves?
So, like I mentioned, from a kid, I was always reading, I was always writing. My parents always knew about my writing abilities and skill and talent. And my family, extended family, even knew that. My school knew that. My teachers, my classmates. There was no one who didn't know that Naushad Khan is a writer. He is our resident writer. When it comes to English, he is the master. So it wasn't a surprise, I guess, when I got published. It was just more of a shock because they didn't think that I was actually going to take it that far. Because growing up, I always spoke to my classmates and I always remember the reaction. I always told them one day I'm going to be a published author. And when Race Champ came out and I was in the newspapers, they were taking pictures of it and posting it on social media. Hey, I know this guy. He's an author. Wow. I'm so glad he achieved his dreams. I was like, I barely know you. So, yeah, we were in school together and they're so happy for me. They are. They really. It wasn't. It was more of a shock, and it was more of a proud and happy moment for them rather than a surprise because they always knew I was an author. But yeah, I think when it came to that race jam, that was my first experience. Now going in the anthology, I feel like I'm just a working part. I'm like a feature. Like when you watch a movie and the movie
Yes.
has got a lot of different actors, but there's always that one or two actors that you go to watch the movie for. So, for example, you go to Ocean's 11. Who are you going to
Yeah.
watch that movie for? You're going to watch George Clooney and Brad Pitt. Those are
Yeah.
the two main ones. Yeah, Matt Damon is there, Julia Roberts is there, but you're going there for George Clooney and Brad Pitt. The same way certain people are picking up the anthology. Naushad Khan, the publisher, oh, he's in this book.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
we've got
Yeah.
four-time published authors in here. Oh, that would be interesting. So I consider it my feature is for two reasons in anthology. Number one, obviously, it's to keep the writer in me writing and get all my work and my imagination ideas out there into the world. And it's also as a star power so that people will pick up the book and it pushes this book forward that people want to buy a copy because the publisher himself is being featured in the book.
Yes. Yes. You are right. Thank you so much for that, because it is indeed one of the things that uh, gives the book credit, one of the things that markets the book even better. Uh, some time back, we used to use autographs a lot when we speak of famous people, important people. These days, at the end of everything, we want to know what are your social media handles. And this time, it is that time where we have to know where can we find Mr. Naushad Khan? Where can we find the director of multi-marketing?
Okay, before I give out my social handles and multi-marketings, I want everyone to earmark this very moment where Elia Mpata said autographs, because you just gave me a brilliant idea right off. And this is about my mind. It works all the time. I could be doing the most important task and an idea will pop into my head. Maybe from next year, I send copies to all the authors. It might have my autograph in it. Quite a good
Yes.
idea. But getting back to your question of social media handles, Naushad Khan, all over social media. Just look for this face here. It was a bit younger when I took the picture. I was 21 years old. Um, I know a lot of people give me flack for never changing my profile pic. It's not going to change. So keep dreaming, keep wishing. I'm going to keep it the same. I like myself at 21, and it's going to stay that way. I'm 21 forever, baby. So my Facebook page, you look for this here. Type in Naushad Khan, Naushad. It'll be there. I know Eliam Pater once told me he thought my name was No Shotgun, but it's Naushad Khan. And you can also find me on Instagram. Find multi marketing also on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khan. We have one more, actually, it's two more things that, two couple more things that we need to touch on a bit. I think it will be more beneficial for our viewers. Uh, the story that we have for this year, the short story, just the highlights on it. If you have the copy with you, maybe you can read just few paragraphs on the book. The book that we are talking about today is this one, the Multi-Marketing Anthology 2025. Maybe you can just
Okay.
read a few lines for us.
So Danny and Jordan, like I mentioned, was based on the explorers, the exploring YouTubers that I used to watch. So how I got my personality on Facebook, this hi guys, multi-marketing came from those YouTubers. So you'll notice it when you read Danny and Jordan, that energy is there. It's like I projected myself onto these characters a little. So just to give you guys a feel of it, I'm going to read the dialogue from Danny and Jordan just as they turn the cameras on and they're about to start filming their video. This is the dialogue from Danny and Jordan. Jordan was setting up the camera on a nearby wall so they could record the intro to their video. As soon as the camera turned on, their personalities turned up. What's up, guys? It's Danny and Jordan, and today we are at an abandoned nuke town. Apparently, this place used to be a town that housed soldiers and their families because it was nearby to an army base. But after the army base closed out following World War II, everybody moved out and the town was left abandoned ever since. And today, we're going to explore this place and see what we can find. But first, I heard this place is full of asbestos since it's been abandoned for so long. So to keep safe, we're going to be wearing these masks. After Danny and Jordan put on the masks, they thumbed up to the video, they thumbed up to the camera and said, let's try and get at least 10,000 likes on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go explore. So you can see the energy I have projected from myself. Those who watch multi-marketing, the energy is there.
Yes. One could bet, actually, you are one of the characters on Danny and Jordan. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I still remember the first time I saw your interview with, it was a lady, I don't remember her name well.
Akashia.
Oh my God. Acacia, yes, Acacia. So when you read this part, then it reminds me of you and Acacia.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to this interview.